it's Zane here, and today we're going to be doing a controversial commentary on why PkHonor has less players and how we can actually fix that really easily. But before that, I'm going to just tell you guys a little bit about what I've been doing, because I know some of you guys are actually interested in that. You know, people PM me on PkHonor asking me how I've been doing, and if you actually want to talk to me, guys, you can comment below, start up a conversation, or even PM me in-game. My private is almost always on unless I'm working on a video, and of course it's on off when I'm working on a video. But recently I've actually been getting ready for camping. I'm going to be going on a camping trip. That's pretty awesome. You know, just going to be camping this summer quite a bit. Maybe a couple family trips, a couple with the dad, maybe even once alone. I don't know. You know, just how you do it. And on top of that, it's actually the Steam summer sales. Now, if you don't know about the Steam summer sales, go look up Steam if you don't know about Steam. It is probably the greatest gaming creation ever. But the Steam summer sales is pretty much where you can get games that usually cost 40 to 30, maybe even 60 bucks, and get them for, you know, 5 bucks, 10 bucks, a buck, you know, really, really cheap. And it's not a scam, it's a real site. It's, you know, it's legit. Most people know about Steam, and so I've actually been I've been saving up for the Steam summer sale. You know, just saving a little bit of money every once in a while. You know, I'll get some cash, be like, okay, put a little bit away for the Steam summer sale, because this sale is actually really good. So lately I've been buying a bunch of games and trying them out. That's why you might not have seen too many videos from me. But that brings me on to the topic that I might actually start doing more gaming videos on my gaming channel. If you don't know about my gaming channel, it is AinProds. There's going to be an annotation on the screen and a link in the description. And on my channel, AinHonor, you know, the channel you're on right now, if you click it, there should be a link for my gaming channel there. And we're going to be playing a lot of new and older games, just, you know, games that I've recently bought that I have no idea about, you know, so I'll give you kind of like that fresh commentator feel instead of, you know, you guys listening to me being very informative. You know how my PkH videos, I know what I'm doing, you know, I'm doing guides and stuff. This is going to be more videos where I don't really know what I'm doing and I'm just having fun with it, so you guys can kind of see what I do with my free time. But without further ado, let's get the controversial commentary started on why we have less players and how we can fix that. So, the trial developer slash advisor Donderstone2, otherwise known as Dylan, not recently, about a month ago, he made a post asking the question, why do we have less players? And a lot of people said it was lack of updates. A lot of people said it was the community. A lot of people said it was the staff. And the thing is, the truth of the matter is, it's everything. Now, a lot of people are going to say, you know, for the lack of updates, they're going to say Mike isn't a slave. And let me throw a little bit of salt in your game with that one. Mike isn't a slave. We all know that. Mike doesn't have to do updates. He didn't even have to make PkH, but it was his choice, you know, to, well, he didn't, but, you know, it was his choice to start updating it and bringing out updates for PkH. It's all him. But the thing is we pay, we donate, you know, really. They say donation so they don't get in trouble, but really we pay for premium and all these items so that he can get through college, so he can live. Without PkH, he'd probably have to get a real job, which would suck. You know, his whole life, just think of how his life would be without PkH, because PkH makes, I don't know if it makes that much money anymore, but it used to make a ton of money, you know. So just think how his life would have changed without PkH. So I think we kind of deserve updates, you know, for changing his life in such a positive way. Nextly, the community. A lot of people say that the community has, you know, the community is the problem, and that it's the player's fault for being a bad community. But that's not true, and we'll get into that a little bit later. And finally, people say it's the staff team's fault. And, you know, of course, all the staff team, they try to protect themselves and say that it's just biased players, but that's also not true. Let's get started. So, as we all know, Mike has been making a lot of excuses lately, talking about how he has exams and how he has, you know, bachelor's degree and thesis papers and all this kind of stuff. And we understand that. That's real life. But, you know, and that's fine. You can make excuses. Excuses aren't bad. You know, sometimes things in life are more important than other things, and I hope that we all understand that. But the thing is you can't expect your player base to stay up high without updates. And with a lack of updates, that actually makes the community as a whole worse. And the reason for that is because more players are going to start staking. Well, actually, backtrack a little bit. More players are going to start becoming more uncaring. Because when a game becomes pretty much dead, PkH is becoming dead because there's such a lack of updates. Players are starting to think, hey, I should go play a different game, play a different RSPS that actually gets updated more. I don't really care about this too much. So what they're going to start doing is staking. And if they lose it all, they're going to get mad. If they win it all, they're going to get cocky. They might try to ruin the economy. And people are just going to start becoming more and more uncaring. They're not going to follow the rules as much because, to be honest, when there's no updates, who cares about your account? You want to ban me on a game that gets no updates? That's what they're thinking. Who cares? But with a game with updates, you care more. You're like, man, this guy's bringing out, he just brought out Glaciers, he just brought out Summoning, he just totally revamped combat. I wonder what's coming up next. I definitely don't want to get banned. That's what they're thinking. I'm going to follow the rules so I can keep on seeing these things happen. If you actually see professional games, a lot of people don't get banned because, they like the game. They don't want to get banned. And so that's kind of a problem. The lack of updates makes the community crappier. And that in turn makes the staff team crappier. Because when a staff members, hopefully, if they're a good staff member, and yes, I know there are quite a few bad staff members, but hopefully, as a staff member, you don't want to dish out punishments. You're there like a cop. You're there to keep the peace, but hopefully peace is already there. Hopefully you don't have to keep the peace. Hopefully you don't have to take out anybody. And that, as a moderator, is how it should be. But when so many players are uncaring, when the community is uncaring, it makes it so the moderators and the staff team have to dish out tons of mutes and tons of bans, and then tons of people appeal and quit and rage and get IP banned and perm banned, and it makes the staff team's job just a living hell, and they start to dislike the community of PkHonor, and their whole outlook of PkHonor also changes, because staff members are just players too. They play the game for enjoyment. They want updates just as much as the next guy, and when they get a lack of updates in a community that hates them, it makes them not care about their job as a moderator, or it makes them take their job way too seriously, in which they just become way too strict or way too biased. And so it's really just this vicious circle of the lack of updates making the community worse, making staff members have to do more punishments, which make the community madder, and they blame it on biased and too strict and things like that. And then with a mad community, it'll just make the staff team more mad. They'll get more strict with more rules, and it's just this vicious circle. How do we fix this? It's simple. We start bringing out updates. Mike needs to just bring out a bunch of updates, because the summertime is the peak time of PkH. Right now we should be at like 700 players, because hopefully, we hope that our RSPS keeps on growing. In the past years during the summer, we've had 600 players. So we should have around 700 peaked out at the summertime. Really, realistically right now, without any updates, we have 100 to 250 players. We peak at 250 players. I've never seen it hit 300 players max in the last couple months without updates. And sure, some of you guys are going to say, hey, what about the Wildy Worm update and, being able to mine and woodcut without having your pickaxe equipped? That's cool, awesome. But to be honest, it's dead content. Really, who cares if you can mine or pick with a mine or a pickaxe in your inventory? Because to be honest, in my eyes, I'm going to have my pickaxe in my hand because that'll give me an extra inventory space. And I'm not going to do Wildy Worm if the combat sucks. If Mage is super OP and always hits, I'm not going to go out there to go to Wildy Worm. So these little updates, they're add-ons, but we need to do fixes first. We need to fix the combat system, and then we need to add some PVMing bosses. Really, this is how it should be worked on. combat system, fix that, revamp it, revamp the wilderness, start working on some PVMing bosses, bring out glaciers, and then while you're bringing out glaciers, bring out the completionist cape, because guess what? That's going to make the skillers happy. Bring out the max cape, bring out the completionist cape. We don't care if the hood is messed up. Don't bring out the hood. Who cares about the hood? Just bring out the capes. Let us work towards something. If you allow us to work towards something, then you're going to have a fun, happy, joyful community. Because right now, all the old players, we don't have anything to work towards. Most of us don't want to get too built in every skill. Most of us are like, no, that's too much of a grind. We just want to have fun. We want to PK skill a little bit, but, becoming too built in every skill isn't everybody's dream. So really, get more updates out, and your players will go up. And I think, everybody already knows this, but I think it's time for a wake-up call. We need big updates. We need a revamp. We need hard work. We need, Donderstone, in my opinion, instead of working on Castle Wars, get him to work on something else that's bigger. Get him to work on the requirements for completionist cape. Get him to work on, glaciers, PVMing bosses, and then Mike can revamp the combat in the wilderness while Donderstone is working on PVMing bosses and completionist cape. There, done. You get those updates out, you're making literally everybody happy and nobody mad. Because nobody's going to be mad about a Pk'ing revamp. If Pk'ing's perfected, nobody's going to complain. Skillers aren't going to complain. PVMers aren't going to complain. Because, PKers are going to be happy. If the wilderness gets revamped, more PKers. Make the other PKers happy. Completionist cape comes out. Literally anybody that wants to work towards something, skillers, PVMers, PKers, they're going to be happy. Glaciers, PVMing bosses, things like that. PVMers are going to get happy. PKers are going to get happy because there's going to be new items. And even the skillers are going to be happy because there's going to be like cosmetic items. And, maybe with glaciers they're going to be able to do some rune crafting, something like that. Bring out those kind of updates. Make everybody happy. Player base goes up. More donations, more money. Everybody's happy. The world goes round. That's about it, guys. I know I've been rambling on. I know. Now, if you are interested in gaming videos, I don't know if I'm going to start today, but I'll start at some point in which I'll be doing some gaming videos. Just, playing those games, just pretty much chilling. Just having a good time with gaming. But that's about it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. And that's about it, guys. Peace.